Boom, boom, boom.
Yo, Divine, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you. One.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd waters, bound with these Sharon flexes. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Guaranteed we well represented. We on that Knicks shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley dig up to your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No capsule here, what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep my boo in the chat. Interacting with your man, them. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back. The for the cat. So we dripping. Niggas feel, you know, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olan, and an Me and my man Brody, we run your fire. TV, that's Cody.
It's real talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, in the Nick drip. So it's Nick's real talk. Oh, I know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, in the Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, in the Nick drip. It's Nick's real talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, in the Nick drip. Real talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? What's good? It is time to get it popping, man. It's the pregame show. Divine, Shot Powers, Knicks at the world most famous arena against the Washington Wizards, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can go down there and get it popping. You know how we get down. But before I go any further, like my brother Shot Powers say, yo, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm riding out the storm, ladies and gentlemen. Don't trip. I'm riding out the storm. Let's get it, man. We still in this thing, man. We got to get it popping. We got to get some energy back. But I'm riding up the storm. Knicks still against everybody. But Shot Powers, my man, what's popping, though?
Good day. You know what I mean? I got to create me one. Salute to the family in the chat for coming in. Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. Salute to the chat. Y'all know how y'all get down in there, man. Appreciate y'all coming in tonight, man. Real talk. Salute to everybody. Crims, Dad, Queen, Darlene, what's popping? Jay Choden, Daniel, Fabian. Salute to you. Brian Acosta, as always, my brother. Thank you for the super chat, man. Brother, he helped us keep the lights on. We might can get the air conditioning keep going on now. I appreciate you, Brian Acosta, with all love, man. And keep getting the drip out there and everything like that. But salute to all you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for coming in, man. We in here, man. We're gonna talk about this Knicks of Washington game tonight. You know, Knicks got going on for their 64th game, I think, of the season, if I'm not right, or 70th game of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. At our 7th day of the Keystone, we got the guys out here in the arena tonight, man. So we can go down here and find a way to get a victory after coming up with 2 losses. Shot Powers been pretty been down. The energy been kind of down around the Knicks universe, man. Knicks lost 2 games in a row. You know, so we all got a little bad taste in our mouths, man. You know, and hopefully me and you can get it popping and get that bad taste out of their mouth so they can get it going with a win tonight, man, and get our team feel a little better about themselves. I think right now that everybody a little worried about a lot of things that's going on because they losing. But you know what? We're going to get y'all off that edge, man. We're going to bring y'all back, man. We're going to bring y'all back into the fold with some positive energy, some good chat, some good noise, some stats and everything. So let's get it, man. We here, y'all here. It's Knicks Real Talk. It's the pregame show, Divine, Shot Powers. To everybody we streaming them from. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for being part of the show. You know, but we're going to break this Washington, New York Knicks thing down. Shot Powers, like I said, salute to King Ribby, excuse me, before I go any further. But yeah, Shot Powers, this has been a tough couple of days, man. A couple of games, I would say. What we need to do, man, to get this thing popping and get the energy back up in Knick land.
Yeah, that's a fact, Divine. And you know, it is 2 losses. You know what I mean? I understand about the losses to the teams that we lost to. I understand. Those teams both should have been games that we lost. You know what I mean? Should have been games that we won, and we shouldn't have lost them. But it's still only 1 game on the docket. You know what I mean? And like I say, I don't like to make excuses, but for these games was a totally different then playing this game on Sunday and playing one of those teams on Sunday and then playing another one of those teams on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? All the games that the Knicks had, that West Coast swing was rough. 4 games in 5 nights. I mean, top teams that we played. And I mean, then we came back and played it. What I'm saying is, I'm glad that we had a game off. I'm glad we had a little bit of a break where we can sit down, talk about it, get together. We back home, got some home cooking going on, and we can relax for a couple of days before we have to make another move after this game. So that's the major thing that I'm thinking about right now, and the major thing that what can elevate this team back to its greatness from early in the season. You know what I mean? And I was going hard on the Knicks team today, especially the bench. Not so much the starting unit, but the bench. And that's where we lack at right now. And as a Knicks fan, you know that already. It is not like it's something that's like, 6, 7 games in, 9, 10, 12 games in. We're 70 games in right now. You know what I mean? We know that our bench comes to play some of the time. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're good, and sometimes they stink the joint up. You know what I mean? So we just got to pull it together and maybe make a little tweak. The one thing that that Tom Thibodeau hasn't done this year is really tweak the lineup like he usually do in the last prior years when he needed a change. He hasn't done that yet. Let's see. Maybe it'll come sometime this week where Mitch comes off these limitations of playing back-to-backs and we get him implemented into the starting unit.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, listen, that same team go out there and win tonight, then it's like I said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 team. But here's some, so we got to make sure that, we go out there to play ball tonight because if we win tonight, we say we know we lost with the same team we won with the same team we lost with. You know what I mean? It just that to me, the losing just stinks. But I say this in a nutshell, and I think just to talk about this right way, we get back into the show, ladies and gentlemen, we also got to remember this here. The Knicks bench probably total gross of salary is probably Jalen Brunson's starting salary.
Not even.
Preston Chua is $6 million. Mitchell Robinson $14 million. That's $20 million. Shamet probably $1 million or $2 million. Campaign about $2 million. You got to remember, the production these guys are giving us, ladies and gentlemen, that's really what they get paid for. They're only $1 million players. And I think if people don't even take that into equation, the reason why this team bench is not that great because look at the price you pay for him. I mean, you're paying $2 million for campaign. You're gonna get a $2 million player. You're not gonna get a $20 million, $15, $17 million player. You're gonna get a $2 million player. And I think we got to come to the realization too that pressure to is $6 million. Come on, we got guys that's a lot of triple of his salary. I mean, we got a bench worth of $1 million or $2 million players. An exception of Deuce Bride, and I think he's overperforming at $4 million, $3 million. You know what I mean? So I think we got to take all that into the equation when we kind of make sure we put all that in totality when they think about how good this team is. Because I think even though with them players, I think they're good because the type of players that they are, they might not be consistent, but they are still NBA players who've been in that rough grind before. And every one of them guys have been in the playoffs. Everybody on the Knicks team been in the playoffs practically. Even Deuce McBride been in the playoffs. So for all the guys to me that's in that rotation, all of them have been somewhere in the playoff before, and I think that's what gave me a little bit more confidence about the team because I knew we had guys who had who've been in them situations, but it seems like in the course of the season, like their mental was not there. So I don't know whose fault is that. I don't know if it's Ted's fault. I don't know if it's their fault. But they are grown men. They got to find a way to will their way out of it. You know what I mean? When you're losing, the best way to do that is sit down and reevaluate what the fuck you're doing and get back at it. That's what we do in life, right? If your shit ain't going right that day, find out why it didn't go right. Hope it go better the next day. Well, that's what they got to do. They last couple of games, they days haven't went well. Find a way to get better tonight. Win the game and get the monkey off your back and get a little energy. So you can have a little laughter and shit. When you're losing, man, it's ugly. Nobody want to laugh and enjoy stuff because you sad and shit. So hopefully they can change it tonight, shot power. They got to go out there and just play hard Knick basketball, man. That's all. And nobody making no excuses about nothing. It's reality, man. This is reality. I mean, us as sports fans go through this every year. It ain't nothing new. We go through this every year in our lives about your team, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. basically.
Fact.
That's what it is. You know, drill of victory, agony of defeat. So we've been in the agony of defeat for the last couple of games, but we're gonna get a pop of the day, though, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all making sure. I think that day rest gonna do them some good. I just think that's gonna do them some good. But a lot of guys need to step up their bag, step up their game, and everything like that. Even though we paying you this money, you in the NBA, it might not be a lot, but you got enough to. If you on the roster, you got to perform. So our team got to perform. Our bench got to perform. I don't care how much you're making, you still got to perform. But I'm not expecting you to be the starting lineup, but I'm expecting you to be something. So, you know, and I think that's what it all boils down to, Shop Out, to give us something, bro. And you might can't give us 90%, but damn, you can't be giving us no 25 either. so, you know, that's where we at right now, Shop Out, with this thing, man. The Knicks, all of them got to find a way to pick it back up. But like I said, you can't replace 28, 20, 26, and 8 like that neither. You know, I don't care what nobody saying. It's Charlotte Red's ugly head. But tonight we gonna go out here and get the Washington Wizards body here. I feel good. They're gonna have a good night's rest. And even though Washington, they where they are, and where they fighting for 15 wins, but they still got pros down there. They got Kevin Love, they got Marcus Smart down there. You know what I mean? They got Chris Middleton, they got Jordan Poole, who was one of them dudes for the Golden State Warriors a couple of years ago. Still got guys down there who play NBA basketball, who good at what they do too. So it's another team you can't take for granted, but we got to go out there and give them the business tonight.
Yeah, a lot of players down there that like to step up against the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And so I just think we get out there and play basketball tonight. You know what I mean? We had some time to just chill, relax. You know what I mean? Get to the gym and sit down and talk. These guys really ain't had no time to really do nothing. You know what I mean? Just follow-ups and stuff like that. The other night I heard that when they got into the Hornets, when they got to Charlotte, they got in at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So come on. You know what I mean? You got in at 3 o'clock in the morning, you probably back up at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? You getting in at 3, you know you ain't gonna right to sleep till about 4:30, 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? You probably back up at 9, 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? Maybe 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? For the, you know what I mean, the workup, the little bit of massages, the little bit of jump shots and free throws that you want to shoot, because you ain't really doing no real practice. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's just a game on the docket. There's what makes it bad is the teams that we lost to, the teams that we should have, we possibly could have beat. You know what I mean? Especially if we would have had Jalen Brunson there. Especially if maybe if we would have not played Mitch the first game and played him the second game against Charlotte. You know what I mean? Maybe it could have been different. You know, so many ifs. But I think tonight, no ifs, no ifs about it. You know what I mean? The Knicks are going to get out there and play some basketball. I think we'll see a different way of them playing basketball tonight with a little bit of rested legs, with a little bit of massage in their muscles. You know what I mean? A little bit of those last Karate Kid, you know what I mean, with them little circle things with the fire in the inside. You see all of them with them circles all over their body. That's what that is, that Miyagi stuff. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens tonight. You know what I mean? We get out here and play some good basketball. You know what I mean? This team is I think the bottom in the East right now. Right, they 15th, I think, right? 14th or 15th, somewhere around there. And you know what I mean? This is a team that we should beat. So let's get out here and beat them.
Yo, salute to the chat and give a big shout out to my man Keith. Keith is Jay Chosen's brother from England, Manchester in the building. Salute Manchester, salute Keith. Salute Keith, your brother Jay Chosen, good people, man. Salute to him and salute to you as well. Like Brody's out here, man. But salute to Keith, man, from Manchester, man. Thank you for joining in, Keith. Appreciate you, my brother. And salute to Rasul in the building. Darren Wayne, Darren, I'm with you on that last tweet you just put out there. These last two losses will mean nothing, mean zero when the playoffs start. That's facts. They sure won't be nothing. It won't be nothing, but that's what it is. We just talking, because when we get to the playoff, them Lord, there's a memory. Thank you, Darren. But salute to the rest of the chat though for coming in, man. AP was good, my man. Salute to you as well. Crims in the building. Queen Darlene, salute Jay Chosen, everybody, AP, NYC B-Ball, my brother, what's popping? Fabian, what's good? Salute everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for coming in on this pregame show. Throw down, man. Me and Shop Howard just trying to get our fan base, bring them back off the ledge a little bit. So, you know, we got to bring a little bit of pop and energy here, man, just to, you know, hope get us feeling good. We had enough bitterness for a couple of days with the Knicks, so it's time trying to get it popping, man. Trying to go back there and play some Knicks basketball, get past the road worries and get past anything that's not an excuse, just reality. Now you got a day's rest, like Shaw Power said. You had a chance to sit back and rest for a day. Go out there. It won't be no energy. It won't be no reason for energy excuses tonight. But sometimes energy is an excuse. If you do have back-to-back, obviously you're not going to play well on a back-to-back most of the time. So like I said, the first game hurt. The second one I don't, because we were on a back-to-back as well. No Mitchell Robinson. I understand that. So I'm not mad at that. I was mad at the Spurs game more than anything. Like I said,
right.
We had Mitchell Robinson there. And we just delayed the egg on that game. But the game with Charlotte, I'm not mad at that, because like I said, coming off a back-to-back and old Mitchell Robinson, they played 16 games in the last 20. Some shit like that. You'll be like 16 games in the last 20 days, shot about 25, 20 days or something. He's had a busy schedule, but you know what? Now they get to come back to MSG, man, Madison Square Garden, and get it on with these dudes, man. So I'm really looking for these cats to get it popping tonight. We need a win tonight to get back to feeling good about ourselves, man. So let's go out there and represent tonight for the fan base. Let's get a victory. We need that. We definitely need that victory tonight for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. I think we get it, though. I think we come and play tonight, and we pull out this thing tonight and be ready for it, man, because like I said, we definitely need it. And if I think we can go out there and get that, we'd be all right. So we'll see how it goes, man. The Knicks will go out there and face the Mutant tonight, win the game, shot out. I'll be happy. I know the chat will be happy. I know the fan base will be happy, because we got to win. We got something to talk about. We just got to brush this shit off, Shop Powell. Brush off what happened the last couple of games, and try to will yourself to a win tonight, and get back at it, man. I still think we can make up for the 2 victories, and we just got to go out there and play the next couple of games pretty hard. That's all.
Yeah, I like what David Smith said about maybe leaving Deuce in the second unit and starting Payne. I mean, I can see something like that happen. That's a small change to shake something up. And I mean, because Deuce, we need the scoring from Deuce. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that Deuce can't still get 25 minutes, 30 minutes tonight with him not starting. So yeah. I really been thinking about that too last couple of games. Yeah. I mean,
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. So I just want to see them get out here and play some good basketball tonight. That's it. And this one win may not take away all the sting from them last 2 wins. I mean, the last 2 losses that we had, but it will, make it a little easier. You know what I mean? It'll make it a little easier. We're not as bad as we think we are. How you fathom that they that bad and they 3rd in the East, but the overall play of the team on games where we should win. You know what I mean? We've been stinking it up, especially games that we played against big teams that we didn't fare too well against. You know what I mean? But aside from that, the narrative this year was we beat up on teams under 500. And we've been doing that all year. And we have beat some big teams. Let's not get it twisted. We only lost. All right, yeah, we lost to Boston. We lost to Cleveland. And we lost to OKC. Okay. That's what, 7 games on the docket? I said we 0 for 7. All right, but we still 3rd in the East. And I mean, so I say that to say that even as many narratives that there is out there, there's also a narrative to your narrative. Or not saying anybody in particular, just saying in general. And I mean, we beat up on bad teams, but we haven't beat them the last 2 games. We have beat good teams this year and blown them out, but we just haven't had the elitist group of the NBA so far. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we still have some games with some of these teams, and I still think that the Knicks are a very compatible team against any team in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they compete, man. Yeah, you can't let 2 wins. You can't let no win in a regular season, really, because like I think Darren said, you won't think about these losses in the playoffs. This is all about the long run. It really is. The season is about the ultimate goal. What's your ultimate goal when it comes to April? And in the course of the season, you're going to go through the peaks and valleys because you're trying to, you chasing the ultimate goal. your ultimate goal is to be a certain place at the end of 2025 to whatever, 2025. I don't know. Your Knicks' ultimate goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to get to the playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs. That's the goal. These are just steps to get to that goal. So, you even if they lose 3 in a row or win 9 in a row, remember, we won 9 in a row. We won 5 in a row. We lost 3 in a row. We lost whatever. That's just the process of going through a season. You know what I mean? Because everything is not going to be always going to be 100% every night, and you're going to have some bad nights and good nights. That's just the NBA. I think for us, because of our expectations, we when we see us lose to the Spurs and lose to the Hornets, they though we supposed to play this here. Let me say it the right way. They supposed to win the game. That's not even a gimme. That's not even without Jalen Brunson, you still think Knicks supposed to have beat them too. At least from a stat perspective. But when you get on that floor and you didn't realize they doing this, they defense doing that, or they offense doing that, and that's why Josh Hart says something about the mental fortitude. Because it's one thing that you still got to know what they do to beat them. You just don't go on the court and go physical against physical. You got to know how they play. You got to know their game plan. You got to know what these players do. So if you're not doing that, then I can see why the Knicks lost back-to-back. If they not preparing themselves, say we going to play San Antonio. Let me get on the tablet on the plane and find out how Stephen Castle play. How is Chris Paul using Stephen Castle? Or now that Wembanyama is there, how is this guy doing this now? If you don't study that, then that way you go into that game, you don't know what you're up against. I'm not saying that's what happened to the Knicks, but I think that also comes along with how much is you putting into the game to win a game, even on the tough nights like back-to-back. You still got to have a mental fortitude to win them games. And I think right now our team, don't get me wrong, I think they do well most of the time, but this time, the last couple of games, I don't think they had that there. I think they just wasn't focused like when they took these guys for granted. Now they was playing somebody like the Golden State Warriors like a week ago. You knew you was going to play Golden State Warriors. You knew Steph Curry was there. You knew Jimmy Butler was there. They was locked in. I mean, they was locked in that game. So go from locked in that game to going up against these other two teams, and you didn't lock yourself in. That's just to me just a part of not preparing, also being tired, because it's a 60-something game in the season now. So I don't know, it's a give and take with it all. But you make no excuses for them though. But if you and that's why I always say if you don't bring your A game, you're gonna get your butt whipped, because that's part of your A. It's mind over matter anyway. You know what I mean? So if you don't get your mind right when you go into these games, you can't walk in there without doing your film study, not knowing who the guy you going up against on the other side of you. If you ain't studying that, you get your butt whipped every night, because that means you don't know that man moves, you don't know the coach's moves, you don't know how they scheme or nothing. I think that's just all part of the process. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, our bench and everybody else, and a lot of our starters been there, done that already. But look at our bench, though. A lot of them dudes, like I said, they $1 million players. They $2 million players. They $3 million players. Shit, the highest is what? 14, Mitchell Robinson, and he was one of our starters. But I do think that when you have a long grind out season, you win some, you lose some. But the most biggest thing is to learn as you go every day. Even when you lose, you better learn something that game to take to the next game. Say, well, I better do better what I did last night, because if not, I'd be in the same situation. I think the last two games, they tried to put an effort in there, but the effort was there, but they just didn't. I don't think they competed mentally. So hopefully we don't have that at night against these young guys. I don't care who you play. It could be the Westchester Knicks. The Westchester Knicks were playing the New York Knicks and they wasn't prepared, or they didn't bring their A game. Westchester might beat them. I don't care who you are. You don't bring your A game. I don't care where you at, who you going up against in life. You can be in a playground. If you don't bring your A game, that dude in the playground going to spank you, bro. Just to tell you so. Because I know I done spanked someone when I was in there. You got to go hard to go home. So Knicks need to go hard to go home. They got to get that mental fortitude back, Chop Powers. And I say all that to say, I think once they get that back and realize that you got to play for 48 minutes, like we always say. We say that you got to play for 48 minutes, and you got to be engaged, man. And that to me, that falls on the players and the coach. Right. Tip, what's up with these dudes? You know what I mean? So he get it too. He get it true. That Tibbs, and it's the whole Knicks team. When the Knicks lose, the Knicks players don't only lose. Tibbs lose. Leon Rose lose. Worldwide. When they lose a game, everybody lose. You know what I mean? It's not just the players; it's the whole organization. So and that starts trickle effects. So they just got to get together, man. Because I mean, everybody walking around Shop Powers like we are on the show, not happy.
Facts.
They're not happy. Nobody at MSG is happy. Knicks lost 2 in a row, so nobody's happy. So you got to turn that shit around and get it popping tonight, man. I think we go in there and play ball though. Just bounce back, having a good day's rest, but we have what we have. I still think our team is who they are, and I still think they're where they are for a reason. They 43-26 for a reason. They third in the Eastern Conference for a reason. So just because you lose 2 games, I don't care who you lose to, the sky shouldn't be falling because it's all about what happens when you get to April. We just want to make sure we get to the end of April. We playing better than we are right now. We play better than we are right now and get back to the end of April Shop Powers. I think we got a chance to go and do we set out to do at the beginning of the season. Get to the Eastern Conference playoffs and see if we can make a run in it. And I think that's still the objective. I feel that's what they set out to do, and that's what they're gonna do. Even through all the peaks and valleys, they're gonna set out on a mission to try to get to the NBA playoffs and see if they can do their best to go far as they can. And that's all it's about anyway. You know what I mean? Everything else don't even mean nothing. I mean, and I think that's what we got to do, man. We got to just come get together, man. But like I said, we got way more peaks than valleys. So I could take 26 bad days of talking about the Knicks. I'd rather have 43 good days to talk about the 26 bad days, ladies and gentlemen.
Say it again. If you was a betting man, Divine, you still have some money in your pocket, right?
Money in my pocket, ladies and gentlemen. Knicks 17, 18 games over 500. I have you some paper. Like I said, it's all about the marathon anyway. So I'm like this here. We had 26 bad games this year that we didn't like, and we had 43 one that we love. We 43-26. And let's get it popping. NYC people, my brother, as always. Thank you for keeping the lights on. You know how we get down, man. But Shop Powers, man, listen, let's go over these stats right quick, man. We could talk about this all day. You know what I mean? This is what we do. But ladies and gentlemen, you look at it right now, team stats going into the game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Washington Wizards 15-54, New York Knicks 43-26. The Washington Wizards are 15th in the standard. The New York Knicks is third. They 8-27 away from home. We are 22-11, 11 games over at home. They 30th for offense rating in the league. We are 5th in offense rating. They're 28th in defense rating. Now we are 14th in defense rating. Staying around that 14, that's good since Mitch's been back. They 30th in net rating overall in the NBA. We 7th. So in a nutshell, according to the stats, the Knicks should blow them out tonight. According to the stats, the Knicks might blow them out. That don't mean that's what's going to happen on the court tonight. But according to the stat Shop Powers, our offense is 5th in the league. Their offense is 30th. Our defense is 14th. Theirs is 28th. And our net rating is 23 net rating percentage. According to paper, the Knicks should smoke these boys tonight. That don't mean it's going to happen, though, because anything can happen. It all depends how the Knicks come out and play tonight. You bring your A game tonight, you should get them numbers there. You don't bring your A game tonight, then you won't get their numbers. I don't know. So, we got to see how it goes. But it's going to, I think we win the game for sure. I think we get back to what we do. But, you can't let those stats. That's just a season stat. That don't mean what happens on the court tonight. So what's going on with that tonight, man? What you think about those stats? How you feel about it?
I'm encouraged. Like, I'm saying, I think tonight is going to be a different game. You know what I mean? I think they will want to play different. As much as we've been getting on them for these last 2 games, I know the Knicks been hearing it. These Josh Hart and Brunson do podcasts. So I'm pretty sure they may not chime in, they may not like it, but I know they listen to some podcasts because there's so many of us out here. There's so many podcasts out here. I'm pretty sure that somebody on the teams are watching podcasts. It is a norm for New York Knicks to have great podcasters. And I mean, to get the information out there, good, bad, and indifferent. If you're watching ESPN down to someone that just started their podcast 3 weeks ago, you know what I mean? They may not all get listened to, but some of them do, just like us. You know what I mean? And we see these last 2 games have been terrible. You know what I mean? We should have beat these teams, but we didn't. But the variables, you know what I mean? The in-betweens, the things that we needed to do that we didn't do. And I mean, it all falls into play. You know what I mean? Now, if the Knicks, the offense right now in the starting unit hasn't faltered this year. They're still averaging about 95 points a game. You know what I mean? even without Jalen Brunson right now, they're still averaging about 92, I think it is 90, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they still up there scoring the basketball. And I mean, we just need a little bit of assistance from the bench. I mean, that's the bottom line. And we don't have the money to get somebody to really help us. Like you said, Devon, with Mitchell Robinson, with Payne, with Precious, with Shaman, they don't make $26 million. All those players that we just mentioned do not make $26 million. And I mean, so we had to fit players in to fill those spots. I mean, for numerous reasons. I mean, and that's what it is, man. We just got to get a little better with the second unit. You know what I mean? They just got to get a little better. And I mean, and I think they know it too. Shaman knows it. I believe Payne knows it. Payne, I get on Payne a little bit, but not as much, because he still gets out there and he's gritty. He plays defense. He still passes the ball. He has a high assist ratio, even when he's not playing, when he's not scoring the basketball. He can grab rebounds, and he's a rough guy. You know what I mean? He's rough. He'll get in your face. He'll swat at the ball. He gets the ball out of your hands without getting so many calls, but he does get calls. You know what I mean? So the style of defense that the second unit is playing is not a bad defense. It's not the defense is what we need from them offensively. You know what I mean? But even with that being said, man, I think tonight's game is totally solely on everybody to play good basketball and play team basketball. With the things that we say at the end of the game, especially when I do that runoff about the pushing the pace and all that stuff, if we do those things, we have a good chance of winning any game in the NBA, but especially tonight's game. You know what I mean? And we have to play our A game. Our A game has to be pretty much until we lock up the third position, and that's about 5 or 6 wins away. I mean, we get five or six more wins, we lock it up, then we can decide 3 or 4 games that we don't have to play anybody until Jalen Brunson comes back. You know what I mean? Well, we probably get him when however it works out, because we need to get Jalen Brunson back with at least 5 games. I hope that he can come back by the end of this week, beginning of the next week. This is February 27th, I think. That's the end of the
next week, something like that. 7 days, something like that. I think when I read it anyway. Like
yeah, so let's see what happens. You know what I mean? At the end of this week, going into next week, going end of this month, going into April. You know what I mean? And hope that he could get back on his winning ways. You know what I mean? Because it's going to take him maybe a game or so to, get his win back. He hasn't been really running up and down the court like he's been playing, running up and down the court 38 minutes. He hasn't been doing that, so we got to get him back into the fold. And we'll have Mitchell Robinson back. And I think that they will change the starting lineup. I mean, and there may be another big move right before the end of the season. To get somebody else. So let's be hopeful. But for tonight's game, team basketball, offensively and defensively, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, real talk, man. That's what it is. Listen, man. It's like this. We just got to do what we got to do, and we take it one step at a time. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight they are in a red drip tonight in MSG. Ladies and gentlemen, to watch it with it. New York Knicks in the white pinstripe drip. I like the munis right there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They're going out with the white on tonight. Projected starters for them, ladies and gentlemen: Jordan Poole, AJ Johnson, Champagne. I meant to say, excuse me. Keyshawn George and Alex Starr. Keyshawn George, I like his game. I really like that young man's game. He's a ball hawk. He can hawk the ball pretty good too. And obviously, Alex Starr, the up and coming young man, he's gonna be in the building for a long time. He could play some ball. And obviously, got the Jordan Poole. That means that Chris Middleton must come off the bench, and unless he's not on the injury report, and Marcus Smart, if he's not on the injury report coming up, but we'll see as I bring that up. The projected starters, same usual suspect for the Knicks: Josh Hart, McBride, Mikal, OG, and Karl-Anthony Towns, ladies and gentlemen. Like Shaw Power said, right now you're looking at 41, 59, 68, 68, and so you're talking about 82 points a game. Shaw Power starting in that starting lineup right there. So somebody numbers because you got to remember with now being that Anunoby numbers have been up lately to 20 games, so I can see why he's scoring around a 90-something game because his numbers are elevated 4 or 5 more. You had a couple of games where Cat numbers went up a little bit, so I can see why they're still averaging at 92 a game because Mikal numbers went up a little bit. when he had a couple of good games. He had 33 one night. He had some 28 another. So I started to say, I see why you said they still lingering around 90-something points in the first unit, in the starting unit. That's good. They are decimated with injuries. Sadiq Bey out, Malcolm Brogdon out, Colin Berry out, the up-and-coming young man on the wing for them. Kisper out for the season. Chris Middleton, game-time decision. Wow, they are decimated. Out for us, Jalen Brunson, Haka Purdy, and Deuce McBride, game-time decision. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to keep that in consideration too. Deuce McBride was playing on a growing injury, or nagging injury, rather. So I guess that could have a reason why he might not have been at his best neither. You know, that the growing to slow you down. You got him on the injury report every night. So it could be a reality, but no matter who is, you play who in front of you. You go out there and handle your business, and no matter who in front of you, go out there and try to win the game. And I think that's what they need to do. They need to go out there and execute on all cylinders. Do what they got to do. I think they go out there and get it popping tonight. I'm not too concerned with that. But like I said, man, this team, no Jalen Brunson nowhere. No Jalen Brunson nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. I just say that going long term. But short term, you don't need Jalen Brunson to beat any of these teams. You just need to play your game, bring your A game. We have Mitchell Robinson back tonight. That'll make a difference. Not having the other day makes a difference in some aspect. You still could have lost to Charlotte. Not saying if he was here, you would have won, but it could have made it a little different. You know what I mean? So when you're missing pieces in the game against Charlotte Powers, not only you coming off a back-to-back, but you do lose Mitchell Robinson. That was a tough spell, but here's how we get down to New York. We know what his team is, and them same bench player, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm kind of getting on them tonight. But in the same bench player, I be praising too now, because remember they was part of the 43-win season. I mean, just because they've been sticking up the last couple of games don't mean our bench sucks totally. Even though they 30th in association as a bench scoring, but I think they do the things we need to do for the money they get. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that Deuce McBride for the $3-4 million he get a year, I think he's earning it. I think Deuce McBride is earning his $4 million. I really believe that. That's one thing I can say. I think he's earning his $4 million. Campaign, $2 million shot powers. He giving us $2 million before. I think the guy's giving us what I expect them to give us for the money they making, and they mission their journey. Campaign been around a lot of teams. Shannon been around a lot of teams. That's the reason why they on the Knicks, because they journeymen. They trying to stay in the lead to be relevant. Campaign just was overseas, right? If I'm not mistaken. So you got to understand also the guys that we have too. We have guys that's been around for a minute, and they there because they willing to take a little bit of money just to stay in the NBA. But we brought in some guys like Campaign, who was with the Philadelphia 76ers last year, who was in the playoffs and knocked down some pretty decent shots against us. They didn't beat us, but he played a pretty good series. So that's why we brought him in here, because he played on Philly last year, playoff guy. Phoenix Suns know these guys that he playing with. I mean, it makes a difference. You know what I mean? And so I think he having a bad couple of games, but I think for the most part they've been okay for their money, for the money they make, and they've been okay, even though they're the worst considered. Ranked by the worst team in the bench in the NBA, but I don't think they play like that every night. And I don't think they're going to play like that tonight. I think they go out there and get it tonight. I think they go out there and just got a day's rest, got a chance to get the bad taste out your mouth. It's been negative Nancy, because you lost 2 games. You lost to some mediocre team. That make it even more negative Nancy and make it more feeling bad. So they just got to find a way tonight, get back to what they do, get a win, get that, and let the other 2 games don't even mean nothing. You win tonight, you forget about the last 2 games. On the schedule. They got to go out there tonight, execute tonight, man, and just go out there and play, have some fun, and beat these dudes. You're supposed to beat them. There's no if and the but. This ain't on the road. This is in your gym. So I'm expecting them to go out there in Madison Square Garden tonight, shot power, and light this thing up, and get this team to 44 wins and all that good stuff, 45, whatever the case may be. Get them to a win, man, so we can start getting this thing. Now we got 13 games left, so we got to start getting all the wins we can get.
Yeah, that's basically it, man. I just I'm hoping to see the Knicks still get to over 50 wins this year, you know what I mean? And I think the Knicks still can do it. And it 43-26, man, and with 13 games left, you know what I mean? They gotta win 9 games, you know what I mean? And 4 or 5 of those 9 games can clinch us in the 3rd position. At least it'll give us time to relate, relax, and recoup. You know what I mean? Get our mind off of of got to win this game to keep us in third place. I mean, I think we have 3 games over them. I think if we go 3 games and win 3 more games, and we keep that 3-game lead, that'll make it six wins. So it'll keep us in the third position. So how we can do that in the next couple of games, I want them to do it as soon as possible. And so this way, they can start trying new tricks. The one thing that Tom Thibodeau hasn't done this year is shake up the lineup. You've seen the shake up the lineup with the first year when Mitch wasn't here. We did the Nolan's Newell and the Alec Burks and all of that. And then last year, the shake up when we moved players from the second unit into the starting unit and stuff like that. So maybe we just need a little break in the monotony. I mean, starting Mitchell Robinson could be that, but we have to also be mindful if we do start Mitchell Robinson with Cat, we do not have a legit, in my opinion, a legit backup center in the second unit. What's going on, Jay?
I love you, bro. Yo, what's happening, everybody? How's everything going?
Man, we good, Jay. We in here, man. Pregame show, Knicks and Washington with us, my man. You know what it is. What's going on with you?
Chilling, man. Let me click that off. I was just on the phone with my younger brother who was on for the first time. He took a leap of faith and flew over to England 10 years ago. I told him, what the F you doing, bro? And he's killing it. So he has watched the show quite often, though. I just want to let you know, and he loves it.
Appreciate
also, met somebody I want to welcome to the show for you. The first time is Stacks in the house.
Stacks was good, my man. Salute Stacks.
Man. He came over. Yeah. Told him about that post and the pre and the post and how dope it gets in here, and and how you keep a real talk. So I just want to give a proper shout out to the people that we haven't seen prior. You know what I mean? So other than that, I'm blessed. I'm excited. I think that there's you gotta what you've been saying is there's been a two game loss. It's not the end of the world. You can't jump off out the window for it, man. You just gotta accept it what it is. I say this every night. Nobody feels it more than the players do. Not like us. We talk about it. We feel it as fans. But you best believe that they're looking in the mirror, man. And
right.
And they checking each other, like the right thing, what teammates do, especially, you got a bunch of them that have come from different places, Villanova squad, different people from different teams played together before. A real friend, a real player, a real teammate check each other, right? They don't just for me, I don't want yes men friends. I'm not into it. I want people to lift me up, tell me, yo, what you doing here? I'll be over there, right there in the corner. Wait for me, look for me, blah, blah, blah. Yo, you doing something with your game. This is what I think you should do. And that's what I think they've done. They had a couple nights to rest. Man, we're towards the end of the season. It's been a long haul.
Rough.
Very long haul. We started without a center, without a backup center, without a backup power forward,
small forward.
Actually, I just in my head I just realized almost damn everything, and we still third. There's a lot to be very excited about, man. So I'm positive. I really believe that, we're going to take our aggression out tonight. That's how I feel. I feel like it's going to be one of those games. Aggressive, back to the basics, but aggressive for sure. So we in the house, man. It is what it is, man. It's real talk. That's what it is.
And let's get it. Hey, man, listen, it's going down, man. We're one. The Knicks is professionals, ladies and gentlemen. They pros and professionals. Like I said, we don't get too high, we don't get too low. We just stay even keel until the playoff. That's when I'm gonna get high and low. Because either I'm gonna throw a TV out the window, or I'm gonna be giddy than a monkey. So I'm gonna be giddy, or I'm gonna be throwing shit around the house. Nah, that's only joke with y'all. Ain't that serious. I'm a fan, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't heading up my house, so for real. But it's like, man, you know what? We got to win the game, Shot Power. We got to win the game, get back to it. Like I said, you're gonna go through the peaks and valleys all season long. Like I said, we peaked more than we valley, and that's a good thing. Regardless of what happened in the season, we peaked it more than we valley. That means we won more than we lost, and I think that's the objective, right? To win more than you lose and try to get to the playoffs. I think that's the objective at all, and I think the Knicks have done that. Their objective was to stay in the top 3-4 in the East this year, and I think they so far with all the variables that's included with injuries and bad play some nights, whatever the case may be, but they still was able to win 43 games to stay up there. Go out of all the variables that we just talked about, they still found a way to win 43 games and lose 26. They found a way in 1 week to beat the top 2, 3, I think, and 5 team in the West in one week. They found a way to win 9 games in a row. They found a way to win 9 games in a row this year, ladies and gentlemen. They found a way to lose 3 or 4 games in a row. But the end all be all, out of all that, they still third in the Eastern Conference, ladies and gentlemen. They are not the Philadelphia 76ers. They are not the Milwaukee Bucks. They are not the Detroit Pistons. They are not none of them. They third in the Eastern Conference behind the 2 top teams in the Eastern Conference. So I don't care what they went through this year. If you're going to tell me you went through all that and you still top 3 in the East, and everybody else below you, not even near you.
Close. Not even really that close.
You meant to tell me that Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks didn't do their job this year? They 18 games, over 500, 17 probably now, and they can easily get them 2 back in the next 2. They'd be 19 games over. I mean, I don't know what there is to say. I really don't. I really don't know what to say. So we can always complain about Tibbs and them. We fans. We got to write the get on them. But some of the things is kind of irrelevant. It's kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you, because Darren said in the chat early in the show, these losses don't mean nothing when the playoffs get here. They don't mean nothing. What you gonna do in the playoffs? I love 82 games. I watch it for the fun. But when the Knicks get to the playoffs, that's when you gotta show and prove to me. Because know why? In the playoffs is win or go home. It's win or go home now. In the regular season, you lose the game tonight, you can play tomorrow. We get to the playoffs. That means you about to tell me I might not get to watch them on Knicks basketball this year. I'm gonna be disappointed, so you better go deep. So I want to keep watching Knicks basketball. So,
so I'm gonna be a little more than disappointed, man.
So let's get it. When you get to the playoffs, try to get. Listen, I know it's gonna be hard getting past Boston. I thought if the Knicks didn't play Boston in the second round, we'd get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So we got to go out there and play. If we wind up playing, if Boston's going to be our matchup, everything stayed the same the way the formatted right now, we'll be playing Detroit and then in Boston. So that means we got to find a way to go in Boston and win a game.
Well, there's something that Shaw said yesterday is maybe somebody else take out Boston. But or maybe we do. Or maybe we do. How about that one? You know what? I know people say things and other people get called unrealistic, but if you're a fan of a team, man, you're going to root for that team to win. I don't give a damn if it's a David Goliath thing. And in this case, it's not a David Goliath thing.
Facts.
All right? It's not a David Goliath thing. All right? We got, to me, the best point guard in the league. We got the starting center for the All-Star team. Why can't we go in there and do that? We got our big man back, right? when things start switching back, Hart going to the bench. Now our bench is reinvigorated. We finally got somebody who could rebound, pass, dribble, score, do all that thing. If I'll keep going, then that puts Mikhail back in his normal position. He can be the 2 guard that he's supposed to be and just be there, stick the 2 guard. OG gonna always stick the best, biggest guy that small forward, power forward there is on the squad. There's no reason we can't beat any team. And so what I would like to see soon, is Tibbs to start, Mitch at least in the first, right from the jump. I know that it's a little difficult right now. We got our captains out, right? So, but that doesn't really matter. You got to still start this guy, let him get acclimated, and then hopefully Brunson gets healthy a little bit prior to the end of the year, and then he comes in, get acclimated with what's already acclimated. So I'm excited. You know what? I don't know. I just got more excited for some reason. This is it. What it is.
They got a good team, Shop Powell. I don't care what happens on any given night. That don't mean nothing. It don't. I mean, how many years we've been watching basketball? All of us, the chat, the people out in the street. We fans been watching basketball for years. Years. I know I have. You know what I mean? And it's nothing that you haven't seen. This is nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. This was so funny about this stuff. It's nothing new. This happens every year. We talk with the Knicks play basketball or whoever. You talk about their wins and losses. You hope they get to the playoffs, and you hope they do work. That's just the way it goes every year. So regardless of what you may, how good you think they are, how good you think they're not, it doesn't matter what we think. It's a matter what they think. It doesn't matter what we think. It matters what they think when they get on that basketball court. They don't care about what we say. You can say the Knicks suck all you want to. I can say the Knicks good all you want to. That don't mean shit. They get on that court and they go out there and say, "Listen, we gotta make them see who we are." And until then, nobody can say the Knicks is bad because they won more games than they lost with the roster that they have and then situation because they're supposed to. Shop Howard, like the Knicks supposed to win these games. So you got Cat, you got Brunson, you got Anunoby, you got Mikhail, you're supposed to win these games. And what did they do? They won them, right? Their roster has lived up so far to their expectations when they brought them here. The Knicks are a third in the Eastern Conference, right or wrong. So the other 2 teams in front of them just having outstanding years, and rightfully so, they're very good teams. So we ain't underperforming this year. We third in the East. We ain't underperforming. Philly underperforming. They lost their guy, but right. Team to me, Giannis and Dame is them underperforming. Knicks ain't underperforming. We might have lost some stupid games here and there, but ladies and gentlemen, we are damn near 20 games over 500. We will be in a couple of days. I guarantee you that. So that ain't underperforming. That ain't underperforming. That's just that we might not have won some game that we should have won, Shop Howard, but that don't mean we're underperforming for the season. And I don't think the Knicks is underperforming at all because we still got a chance of going to the playoffs in the 3rd spot. And that's what we set out to do with a team that's fairly put together and with injuries here and there. Obviously, you lose your top dog like Jalen Brunson for this amount of games. You don't think Nick team will be better than with him when he here. That's hyperbole. Nick can't be better. They're not better with Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? They worse without Jalen Brunson. But they found a way to win a couple of games. But also it showed you without Jalen Brunson, you can lose a couple of games. So they stay even kill Shot Power. To me, we said when Jalen Brunson went down, tread water. Just tread water. Don't go here. Just tread water. And so far, the Knicks is what? Treading water. They ain't fall off the earth. They still in the 3rd spot. They didn't fall out of the 3rd spot. They treading water to one of their superstars get back. When the other superstars get back, then once that dude get back, him and the superstar that's there now called every time to lead his team to where they got to go. That's bottom line. That's all it boiled down to. At least that's what we want, Shot Powers, anyway.
Yeah, I just stay even kill with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hated those 2 losses that we had the other night. Yeah, of course. And I mean, on paper, we should have won those games. And, but that doesn't make the team a bad team.
Right.
They just couldn't get it together those 2 nights. And I mean, they couldn't get it together. They couldn't hit those momentum shots. They couldn't get the defense. They couldn't grab rebounds, something that they did that they should have done on paper that they should have dominated, and they didn't. All right, it's on to the next. You know what I mean? And the Knicks have been doing good this whole year. You know what I mean? We have had some losses. I mean, you know, it's a lot of losses. We got 26 losses, but you know, and here we go again with the ifs. But if Mitchell Robinson, Shamuth, and Precious would have started the season, we could have been 8 more games we could have won. 6 to 8 more games that we could have won, because we would have had a solid 9-10 man rotation with Tibbs playing those guys minimal minutes, 32, 34 minutes a game with that 9-man, almost 10-man roster if you want to include Precious, and dominated. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just take it. I'm just grateful for the team with all the stuff that has happened in the beginning of the year and these last little, you know, losses against teams that's under 500, that we're still third. It's not even like, oh man, we got to win this game tonight. You know, we about to go into 7th place. We're not even in the top 6 no more. And he ain't said that this year. We've been praising the team and all that stuff, man. So, and now we got Mitchell Robinson back. So I'm hoping that he can help out. For right now, you leave Mitch in the second unit. You have to. You know what I mean? It's not time to put Mitchell in the starting unit yet. But in another 8 to 10 days, when Brunson get ready to come back, I'm sure that they're going to start. When Brunson get ready, is close to coming back, you're going to see Mitch in one game before Brunson come back, and then Brunson's going to come back, and then they're going to run that lineup consecutively for the last 6-7 games of the year. And I mean, and, you know, Josh will go in there, and hopefully by the end of the year, 2 games before the end of the season, maybe it's time to let Deron go and pick up one of those guys in the G League that can either shoot the basketball or make some baskets in the second unit that may not play, or someone that we can get as a center, but that will probably play. And I mean, because if Mitch starts, we're going to need some help in the second unit as a center. So just stay hopeful and stay mindful. You know what I mean? We still have an open roster spot. You know what I mean? And because PJ is not on the roster. You know what I mean? PJ's only a contract, 10 days. Now he only on a contract for 10 days, 20 days now, right? He's in play. I think he's elapsed the 10 days already. So he's 20 games into the thing. By the end of the 3 more games or so, we'll know if he'll stay here or if he goes to the coaching. If he goes in a suit and a tie and sit in the back and start coaching these guys, and we let him go and let another guy go and maybe bring up another player or something like that. Who knows? Now, I mean, we've been we thought TJ Warren would have been here already. I mean, everybody had you know, all these players coming here all year long, just like every year. I just think the team plays good basketball tonight, plays team basketball tonight. We win the game and on to the next.
Yeah. Before I pass to Jay, I'll let Jay finish what I got to say, and I'll let Jay go. We close out. Ladies and gentlemen, here's where I am with the Knicks team. These same players who not playing good now won 9 games in a row with us. These same players that everybody's saying not good because they had a couple of bad games. Help us get to 43 wins. We understand they're not consistent players because that's been our gripe about them all year. They just inconsistent.
Achilles heel.
But they have, and I don't even, you could say Achilles heel exactly. But at the same time, I don't even want to say that Achilles heel in a degree shop. You know why? Because they helped us win a lot of games. You know what I mean?
Did.
Yeah, they listen, Knicks are 43-26 with the same guys we complain about a little bit because they had a bad couple of games. You know what I mean? But when these guys had some good games, you know, they help us get to where we at with that good offense, that starting lineup we got. So I do say Achilles heel to a degree, maybe in the last couple of games or the games that they haven't. But I think for the most part, they serve for what they're getting paid for. To me, Campaign making $2 million. I believe Campaign is giving the Knicks $2 million worth of service. I really do. I think Deuce and Bride making $4 million. I think he giving Knicks $4 million worth of service. These ain't no $20 million players. Shit, they only $2 million players who are barely sticking around in the league. You know what I mean? Just trying to hang on by threads. Shaman and them just journeymen rolling to get to keep having their mortgages and shit like that. You know what I mean? They ain't like these cats making like 15, 20 million where they like, I go buy a house. These cats, them players like Shaman and Campaign and them guys, they just they go into any team they can go to because that team can use them. They serviceable. But that's all they are, ladies and gentlemen. They serviceable. Y'all putting too many expectations on guys who know. Why you think the other teams let them go?
Facts.
Why you think the other teams let them go? If they was that good of ball players, they would stick with the team they are. But that's why they consider journeymen, moving from team to team, because they are not that good to stick around with one team for 5, 6, 7 years. That's not who Campaign, Landry Shim. I didn't think Landry Shim was going to make it another year in the league, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, because we got a substantial amount of payroll in the starting unit, we had to get guys like that. We had to go get the $1 million and the $2 million, the $3 million, along with Mitchell Robinson's 14 and President. That's why we gave him $6 million. Because that really was all that they can muster up, and with $50 million for Cat, 30 or whatever Anunoby, McHale getting, and you know what I mean. So I understand it, but them same dudes help us win 43 games, ladies and gentlemen. Where's Bond? And it counts for something, So yeah, they had a bad couple games. Yeah, their bench might be the best bench in the world, but I think that 30 rating to me is underrated since Mitch, Preston Achua, and Shaman got back to the Knicks. They might still be in the 20s. I don't think their talent is the worst bench in the league. Let me put it like that. I don't think their talent is the worst in the league. I think their numbers is right there now. But I do think these guys know how to play basketball. So let's get it. Jay Choden, give me your last words, my man, and we get out of here. I just wanted to put that out there about the team, man. We got who we got, but I still believe in this team. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Your piece, Corey Lee, the butcher. Queens in the building. Queens get the money. Salute my man. What's good? Salute everybody in the chat, man. Real talk. Thank y'all for coming in and everything, man. We appreciate y'all, but we're gonna get out in a few. Next time we see you on the game previews. Jay Choden, talk to you, man.
Listen, I'm gonna put it out there. I think, there's not enough time for me to respond to what you said just now about the team.
Yes,
so I'm just gonna say this. I'm a Knicks fan. I root for all Knicks. They're wearing that uniform, I'm rooting for them. They're the coach, I'm rooting for them. Period. That's it. So that's what a fan means. I think I believe we're gonna win. I think it's gonna be something in the I'm gonna go 114-97.
I like that. I think that's a good. I like that response. I like that response from a defense standpoint.
That's what I'm thinking about the defense. That's
I like that. I like that. 114-97.
Yep, 114-97.
Yeah, I like that. I like that response. Hopefully our defense can bounce back, Shop Howell, and give us some numbers because they was holding people down in there for a while. But last couple of games, the Raiders up the head, and I think that had a lot to do with tiredness as well. But I'll get my brother. Pardon me.
Control the pace, hit your free throws, grab some rebounds, shoot over 36% from three-point land, 28 assists a game. My fandom first score. Knicks win tonight, 135-108. Realistic score, 118-108.
I like that, man. I like the fandom too, man. It feels good as a fantasy and get 135. You know what I mean?
Word. That'll make me forget these last two games. They came out and performed. That's all we looking for. That's all Knicks fans right now looking for is performance. If we get out here and we bust them down, then we won't even be talking about those last two games. A big performance tonight, 130-something to 108, where we still keep the team low, where we can chip away at that, moving up in defensive ranking will help the Knicks out tremendously and the fans to simmer down just a bit.
Okay.
I agree with that. As a fan, I think that we should be in that high range, but I think the score is going to be that. Because they're going to try to dig down deep, I hope, on their toes on that defense.
Yeah, for me, man, you know what? The main reason why I need to win tonight, and for a lot of reasons, but the main reason we won't hear fire tips tomorrow. We won't hear tomorrow. We won't hear. We won't hear we ain't doing this tomorrow. I need to win, so we don't have to hear all that craziness. So I got to know y'all just go out there. I think I'm gonna call Tibbs in a few minutes. Like Tibbs, listen, y'all got to win this motherfucker tonight. Cause these fans, they about to escape from New York out this motherfucker. Yo, listen, man. I think the New York Knicks bounce back off a day's rest, get their minds right, get their mental and physical together, go out there and reevaluate they did the last couple of games, knowing they got to play better than they did the last couple of games. They know they're supposed to win this game. They're not in San Antonio. They're not in Charlotte. Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. They home. They're gonna turn it up tonight because you're supposed to beat this team. And I think they're gonna beat it handily tonight. I got the New York Knicks open up a can of whoop. You know what? Tonight I do the 125-99 tonight. I think Knicks.
Damn, bro.
I think the Knicks respond tonight. I think that team go out there and say, "Listen, that ain't who you see the other night. Ain't us. Who you seen us are the team what we were doing a couple of weeks ago, or what we did against the Warriors the other day. Even though we lost, we that team. We that team against the Warriors. We are not that team against San Antonio. We are not that team against Charlotte. Let's get it 125-99. I hope the Knicks pull this thing out, man. But Super J Choden chat, shout powers the chat. Thank y'all, everybody, man. Thank you everybody for the super chats and everything. And anybody respond, man. Listen, no matter what, man, it's all in the blue sky, man. We Knicks fans to the day we died. Love them, hate them, in between, whatever. You know what? You got to root for them, though. Let's do the damn thing. Let's get a win. And I need to get this 45th, 44 win.
Run through the storm, Divine.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yo. I ride it out, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the shirt said. Next we'll talk. I ride out the storm, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always riding out the storm, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a nigga, and we're gonna get this shit popping. Whether you're a believer or not, I'm bearing witness that our team gonna be okay. When Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson get to the play, we good. I believe that because I didn't see them play all yet. I know what they could do. So let's get it, man. Y'all enjoy the night. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.
Word.
Real talk, man. Let's get it, man. Come on, Knicks. Let's get it popping tonight. Let's
get it popping tonight.
Yes,
Word.
sir.
Get it popping, man. Give us some smiling to do, damn it.
For real.
Peace.
Peace, Jay.
Peace, y'all.
Yo, Divine, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you. One.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the Gospels, we in that Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd, what is bound with Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Guarantee we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley dig up to your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow for the pregame show. No cash, so here's what's on tap. But God, I'm talking five. And report, keep my boo in the chat. Interacting with your man, them. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Cats and snap back to fit the cat, so we Nick dripping. They feel, you know, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olin, and Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick dripping and Nick drip.
Yes,
it's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down.
I didn't see it.
We in that Nick dripping and Nick drip. We in that Nick dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick dripping and Nick drip.
No, they know it. Yeah, sometimes we don't think we need to, sometimes we think they
Line, I can hear you.
Real Talk.